Okay. And again, I need to share screen.
Yes. Okay, sorry. It was again forbidden. Sorry. Is it okay now?
Yes, right.
Okay. Okay. You're welcome.
Oops. The screen is on, yes?
Yes. You can see your project. Yeah. Go on. Thank you.
That's a project. It's finished already. We don't have any professional photos of it, but what's the main thing of this project is the chemistry we had with the customer. Like we became like really good friends after that. It's not far away from my daughter's kindergarten, so each time I bring her, not each time, but often I bring her to the kindergarten, I go to them, to the guests, we drink coffee, talk. But how we made this form, I mean, the thing was that the customer, they had really small budget, and we had to try really hard to give them something which represents their personalities in the small budget, because when we are working on the private houses, it's a totally different approach for us. I mean, we spend lots of time to know the customer as close as possible, and if customers open for that, I mean, we spend lots of time to understand each other as good as possible. And then let's say we try to do something with a house which is like something like the portrait of this owner. So there were different things which why this house evolved that way. But main thing is this facade here, and our customer, the man and wife, and the wife, she was the most active in this pair. She comes from the western Georgia, where the architecture looks some kind like this, these arcs and these decorations here. It's name's Oda House, but she spends lots of time in Middle East. And if you see it, you have the picture of the old Tbilisi here, these balcons, this Ivni Sakli, this balcon house. It's really typical for Tbilisi. So we decided let's try to put these three things, like this Western house, Tbilisi, and some Oriental details, and make some contemporary version of it. And it's how we made this facade, and we needed to do it because it's this facade looks on the south, so you have really more than you need sun there, so we needed some kind of shades here. And second thing was that the building is on the slope. Oh, I forgot to mention that we had no possibility to build something only this rectangle, because there was an agreement between the neighbors, and they had, each of them had similar spot on the ground where we had to build. So we used the slope, and both of them are freelancers, are working from house. So that gave us ideas that we need to create as much different spots in interior where they can work from. So not only the tables, but we divided the house divided the house, if you can see it on the sections, on the different levels here. So you always have the level up, level down, where you can see it, use it this level of, and of course we use it this ground, not this house here. We removed the slope here and we made the terraces as a backyard. One terrace is for like master bedrooms, master bathroom. One is here as a part of the living room, and third it's just the windows in the kitchen. But we wanted to have this view, so you can view through the building. You can see this terrace here, and why we wanted this terraces again, it's we wanted to create different spots, as I mentioned, so they got like really comfy spaces in the backyard when they can work or just drink coffee or whatever, protected from the rain in direct sunlight. But the main thing of this building is this red stone we wanted to use, and it has pretty funny story. As I mentioned, the wife, she was really active and she talks really a lot, and it was not always easy to listen to her because she was really overwhelming. And once we were already on the final stages of the project, and I had a 2-hour phone call with her. And when we finished, I just put down the phone and just talked to my colleague that, oh my God, like she's a diva, if it's right in English. Yes, we need to make a red carpet for her. So each time she comes home, she should walk on this red carpet. And right away when we laughed about it, I just couldn't resist. I called her back and told her that, okay, listen, you talk much, you are really emotional, so you behave like a diva. So we decided to make this red carpet entrance for you. And actually she was really happy and we did it. And I hope I will have the pictures of this house as soon as possible. And to have a rest from architecture, we are doing not only architecture, we are involved in art project as well. That was largest art project we participated. It was a group of 11 artists, each working on different medium. The call of this installation was Sizmari. Sizmari translates as dream. And it began that a friend of mine, we worked together on this first project I showed you, if you remember, this cage stage. She made she made the installation under that name, and she wanted to do a second stage of it. And she came to me and we had a small discussion. She told that she wants to have labyrinth, a maze in form of the human brain, and in this maze we should plant different art installations. And I disagreed right away because I really do hate when people are when in architecture people are just repeating the forms you can see like only from above. And it would be if I agreed to make like a maze in form of the brain. Instead, we had a brainstorming and we decided to just understand what is a dream. And of course, the dream, it happens in our head. And what's our brain? And our brain consists of these synapses and the connections between them, where the electrical impulses are traveling, and what is basically how our brain works. So that was our proposal, and we did it to make this maze, which consists of the neurons and synapses. and to make it so that the people who are entering there are not just a part of exhibition, but these people who come here to see this installation, they should become part of it. So we made it this way that in each of these large tents there is one of the art pieces, and everything is interactive. So when the people traverse through these neurons, first off, you can see them because of the light, how they traverse, and when they enter the tent, I mean, it's how it looks from inside. And those are these 3 installations, and when they enter, the installations react, and these tents start to glow or produce sound. I mean, this one was 3 balls with sensors. They could read your heartbeat, and if only one of the balls were held, it produced some kind of sound and animation. If 2, it just expanded, and when all of 3, there should be the 3rd one, all of 3 people touched him, it became like really glowing and loud, and same was with the cube. You could just push it, and it started to vibrate. It was like smoke inside, light from under, and you could see yourself inside the cube. I mean, not on this mirror, but inside, and it produces the sound and vibration as well. So when the people go in and out, you can always see how these neurons are like working, and how this electro impulse, which are people are moving through them. Okay, and let's to next project. It's a short one. This project is really important for us because it's a modern Georgian church, and in Georgia it's really problematic because our religion is really conservative, but we managed to find some way around. It should be a church and the museum for, I don't know, how do you call the pieces of the saints which are collected, which stay like, I don't know this word, I'm sorry. So museum and church, and we made this cube. We wanted to have this cube which looks at the night like a wall with the candles inside, this light. And basically it's the upper part, you have this cube, but inside the cube we made the interior, let's say so, which is classical Georgian, which can be a classical Georgian church. So that was the way to get the approval from the Georgian Patriarchate, that it could be built, because from inside it's an ordinary church, from outside it's just this cube floating on the water, and it's on the water. At the entrance to enter there, you have to like go down under the water and go in then. And here in the main space, you have this ramp which leads you underneath, and here you have like 12 rooms. We divided the saints on these according to their zodiac signs, which was pretty exciting for me as well, because I thought that zodiac and Orthodox Christianity, they don't like each other, but it turned out that they did. So there should be the 12 rooms with the light from above through the water, where all these parts should be stored and exhibited. Right now, we are waiting for the funding, because this project should be crowdfunded, and as soon the money is there, we can proceed with that. And it's a last project. I will show it to you. It's a competition again. And in this project, basically, we tried to work not just on the concept of the building, but we really tried to make a structure which tells the story of all of our philosophy as well. I mean, so it was the brief was to be there on this cliff here. There were old remains of old building. You can see this on this photo montage. There was some military building which was demolished by the time, and they wanted to have, it's a Portugal again, they wanted to have here something like info point. I mean, a place where you can go in, read some info, have a good overview. So we just and the first picture which was on the cover of our lecture is like this picture evolved then to this visualization. So what we wanted to do, basically, this name of this project is Process. So instead of just make some building which is building, we tried to make like a structure which tells first of the same story, the story of this building and story of everything, of the surrounding. I mean, what do you see? You see the cliffs, and these cliffs are eroding through the time because of the water and the wind, etc. These old walls are already in the shape that you barely can tell that they're human-made. They're, because time after time they're becoming more part of the nature. So we made a cube here, and then we started to demolish it. We use this hexagon again because it gives good possibilities to create like spaces like this. So, and we divided in the two, let's say in the two main spaces. First space is, let's say, on the first level when you go through, and we made like this way when you can when you can't see the final destination. It's a final destination, but you see this. To see this, you have to go through this maze. It's not just maze, but go through and you have this new structure which builds a frame for this old structure, nature and sea. The position is so that the wind should be really strong here, crosswinds. And time after time, this structure should change the color because the salty water and the wind, etc., and become more and more part of the nature. And afterwards, let's say you're going to this observation place where you can see it. You have this console, this roof, and everything like goes in the perspective to the infinity, like this. Again, the sea, this existing structure, nature, and this new one. And we wanted to create some kind of image of unity of everything. This. And the second one is, I don't know if you can see this. I mean, you can walk here up, not go through, but walk up. I'll try to sit on here. And here we tried to make this to represent our vision of our architecture and our philosophy. That is to create something, to create some project and then leave it alone. And after some time, like 2 years, 3 years, basically, to look back on it and just to try to rethink it, to understand it again, and then go. So when you go here up, you have always places when you have to turn up and look back, like one of this here, then you go up here and have to look back, and then go up here, and you have always this, I will show you the spaces like this, like you can see here. And here, when you can see the way you have came to this place. and only after you can go to this upper platform, and there's a same perspective that this platform it should represent the way to the infinity, in the means that there is no end to this process. I mean, only end of the process of evolving is if you just stop doing it. And no matter how hard and how long you're working on the project, I mean, you can evolve and without end. So no, you have to, of course, you have to stop at some point and finish it. But I still believe that it's really important to look back on your project as often as possible. I can just, as last word, say that when I was adding the first projects, the handmade projects, I can just remember how I experienced them. When I just made them, I was really proud. I was thinking that this greatest projects I ever made. Then after some time, I was really ashamed of this project because I understood how wrong my approach was. And after years, I can again love them because I see some naivety there, but I can see even some lessons, some lessons I can use now, because back then I was much more, how can I say that? I was much more free. Yes, I was much more free, using like different forms without thinking of what will be the consequences in the understanding of the functionality or concept, etc. So right now we are again trying to bring everything back, and again I'm always finishing. I think I made it clear. I really do hope how important the jazz music was for me, because when I talk to you about this main theme and improvisation, so we tried in this project instead, if you remove instead the piano and drums and bass, if you say that one of your instrument is concept, the second your instrument is the functionality, and the third instrument is the geometry, like visual geometry, the things what you really do like, and you mix them, but you mix them not forever, but on each project you can give one of them possibility to be the main driving force of the project. So that's basically all. So blank paper. So that's all from me, and thank you again. And I don't know, I would be glad to answer the questions if you have some.
Thank you very much. And we are waiting for the questions. It was very interesting to look inside the process that you share with us. It was wonderful. A lot of thanks. And ми чекаємо зараз місце для питань. Будь ласка, студенти, викладачі, якщо мають питання, будь ласка, задавайте. В нас також має бути присутня дівчина, яка буде перекладати питання, або якщо вона присутня, або ні, мало.
Так, добрий вечір, я тут, я з вами.
Так, добре, дякую. І тоді, будь ласка, якщо є питання, можемо перекласти для нашого лектора. Будь ласка, питання? Так, чи то всі втомилися наприкінці дня? Будь ласка. Так. Якщо поки що...
Давайте я.
Будь ласка, так. Так.
Так, ну, пробачте, я буду без камери, бо в мене щось ще не працює. Ну, я так от, в мене таке, може, дивне питання. Ну, по-перше, хочу подякувати. Ну, надзвичайний був досвід. дуже така повна презентація, і мене здивувало, як багато вже всього напрацьовано, як багато тем, як багато різної типології, конкурсної праці, і це дивовижно і дуже
Підождіть,
цікаво.
Ірина Віталіївна, будь ласка, дайте нашому перекладачу.
I can understand everything, so maybe
Okay.
you don't need it because I just can talk on Ukrainian,
Окей.
but if there will be something I can understand, I will ask you on the help. Maybe that will be better.
Окей, thank you. Окей. Тому продовжуйте. Да.
Я
Наш
не все
викладач, вибачте, я перекладу тоді для Ірини Віталіївни, що Георгій розуміє українську, він не може лише спілкуватися, тому він вас повністю розуміє. Ви можете продовжувати.
Дуже добре. Я не дуже розуміла теж всі коментарі на англійській мові, але для архітектора головне це візуальне і головне це креслення. Тому мені було, як мені здається, все зрозуміло. І що мене більш всього занепокоїло, що мені здається, що багато всього, що було сьогодні показано, воно не було реалізовано. І на це, мабуть, є якісь причини об'єктивні. Я думаю, що в Грузії, також як і в Україні, є певні труднощі для реалізації саме таких концептуальних, дуже цікавих і творчих проєктів. То які саме трудності, як здається, Георгію, він виділяє? Чому так багато не вдається реалізувати, а тільки запроєктувати? І друге питання. Який з ваших проєктів вам найбільш, ті, які не були реалізовані, для вас саме такий цікавий, якщо б у вас була б змога вибрати лише один з тих, що не вдалося, який би ви хотіли реалізувати, щоб подивитися, як попрацювати з матеріалами, як воно вийде? Ваш фаворит.
Okay. I will start with the second question then. My favorite project is
З другого питання відповідь починають.
Да, я таке.
This one. I don't know why. Maybe because it reminds me how I was still a student, but I really do love this place. I see this place every day, and right now they want to build 2 75-story high-risers here. So yes, that's my favorite project. And why there are many unrealized projects? I mean, first off, I choose to show most of unrealized projects because, and the competitions, because those are the projects when you can really show up yourself, what you are. I mean, what you are, and not what your customer wants from you.
Okay.
But second was
Please make a little bit stop, because our translator should translate to Irina, to everyone, maybe. Okay? Якщо присутня наша перекладачка, або я можу допомогти.
Давай, там цілком зрозуміло, деякі деталі.
Коротко перекласти, що для Георгія цей проєкт важливий, бо він нагадує йому саме студентські роки, і саме процес створення – це дуже для нього такий проєкт важливий. І ще одна така річ, що тут на цьому місці мають звести 2 великі вежі 70-поверхові. Це йому країть серце і дуже болить за це місце, тому що він там бував дуже часто і ходив завжди, а зараз там буде щось зовсім інше, з яким він не погоджується.
Да, це те, що нас завжди мотивує дуже і що нас вражає, ось коли щось коїться не так, як треба. Да, я розумію. Тоді мій коментар ще останнє, а мій фаворит – це останній проєкт. Мені дуже цікаво було б там посмотрети, як моя особистість реагує на це формостворення, таке дивне, філософське і дуже експресивне. Вражаючий проект останній.
Thank you. And about the first question is that it was generally my mistake that when I came back to Georgia, it was the time where the political changes were happening. And I was pretty loud with my political beliefs on the social media.
Can I
On
just,
the wrong side.
okay, for the parts, okay? Георгій каже, що починає відповідати вже на перше ваше питання.
Так, я зрозуміла.
Він каже, що при поверненні з навчання з Німеччини до Грузії, можливо, то було його помилкою, то були такі часи політичних змін, так? І то було, можливо, його помилкою свої думки дуже голосно озвучувати. Час назад таке в нього враження. You can continue?
Yeah, basically that's it. I mean, and yes, second one is that Georgia is not a stable state right now again. And in point of view of architecture, lots of companies prefer to hire like young architects, like right from the school on the payment, and just build as fast as possible without any view on the quality, like developer business.
Тут я, можливо, трішки помилюся з перекладом. Не всі слова для мене були зрозумілі, але то спробую. Або, можливо, допоможемо ми.
Можливо, так, я вам допоможу.
Будь ласка,
Якщо я правильно зрозуміла, то зараз якби всі, бюро намагаються найняти молодих спеціалістів, тобто і зробити проєкт як можна швидше, не зважаючи на якість, а приділяючи більше увагу часу, щоб це було якнайшвидше.
It was not about young ones. I mean, I have total respect to youngs, but unexperienced, maybe that would be better word.
Без досвіду.
Зрозуміло, в нас теж є.
Вибачте.
Зрозуміло. Дякую. Ще раз, дуже цікаво було.
Так, будь ласка, в кого ще є питання до нашого лектора?
В мене є питання, якщо можна, я трошки прокоментую. Мені дуже сподобалась ця лекція, бо тут я бачу багато різних таких підходів до розвитку сучасної архітектури як такої. І в мене питання до Георгія, чи він погодиться з тим, що він шукає нову сучасну мову для грузинської архітектури. Бо я бачу, що він використовує традиційну архітектуру як таке тло, на якому він шукає елементи, знакові елементи і просторові структури, які притаманні грузинській архітектурі, і хоче ці риси перенести в сучасність. Якби не бути таким архіваріусом, не просто перелічувати традиційні якісь засоби, а осучаснити їх і розробити сучасну мову грузинської архитектури. Чи погодитесь ви з моїм таким вироком, скажімо так?
Do you need a translation?
I understood almost everything except what was the question about. I mean, I understood about architecture, translation of architecture, everything. Just where the
Is it right or not that we
Мені здається, що ви шукаєте нову мову для сучасної грузинської архітектури. Якщо так, то я з вами згодна.
Well, I have to thank for that my professor, the professor who was working with me on this project. It's Enrique Sobejano. If you know Nieto Sobejano, that they are really great in the working with the historical heritage and understanding what historical architecture means and how can you translate it in the contemporary one. So yes, I never thought about that. I have a goal to make like new, to develop a new style of the Georgian architecture. Maybe unconsciously I was doing that, but it happens mostly because of on how we approach to each project. I mean, we always try to have respect of the surroundings, and yes, and that's why our projects maybe look like our projects have this influence of this surroundings again.
Так, це дуже цікаво, бо мені так ну, прийшло на думку, що вас можна порівняти, ваш метод праці можна порівняти з працями Альдо Россі, який теж намагався ну, реконструювати якісь елементи італійської пам'яті, да, і реалізувати їх в своїх сучасних проєктах.
Well, thank you first of all, because I really do love Aldo Rossi, and to hear something like this, it's a really pleasure for me.
Yes, I do.
Чи потрібен переклад аудиторії? Будь ласка, можливо, хтось допоможіть перекладом, або...
Ні, навіть Ірина Віталіївна зрозуміла.
Так, що... Добре, у нас, до речі, залишилося 3 хвилини. 3 minutes left for this last part. Maybe someone else wants to the question. Можливо, у когось також є...
Можна я, якщо ніхто не хоче? Краще англійською чи українською? Ну, я готовий так і так.
Будь ласка, на ваш вибір.
Англійська, щоб коротше, щоб скоріше.
Добре. Thank you very much for your interesting lecture. I really admire for your the residential building project where you used element of traditional Georgian architecture. It seems to me that this is kind of experience that we should apply in something in some project to attract people to be interested in the culture of their people of their country. I have such a rather banal question. You said that jazz is very important to you. I also admire him, but tell me, maybe something else inspired you. For example, you showed incredible project of hotel, the interior of which resembled the hotel from the film The Shining by Stanley Kubrick. Tell me, have you ever been impressed by a film and other form of art for a project?
Sure, I was. About the hotel, I never thought about it, to be honest, but I even have a course for my students when they have to watch, we watch some movies, what they choose, and then each of them has to recreate a model, architectural model of interior, which is not directly interior, but build some interior which has same message as the film or same vibes as the film without copying the forms or colors. So yes, of course, I mean, I think the movies are greatest medium ever, and it happens a lot with me, but not with particularly this project. Maybe again subconsciously, because Shining is one of my favorite movies in the books, so it could be.
Так. Остання хвилина в нас вже збігає. Якщо хочемо, можемо перейти або відпустити нашого лектора. Дуже нам сподобалося все. Дуже дякуємо. Мені здається, що вже треба відпочивати.
Оплески.
Дякуємо дуже.
Дякуємо. Thank you very much. It was a
You're welcome.
pleasure to look inside your architecture and inside the project. It was a pleasure.